Yo guys, in this video today, I'm going to be telling you 2 things that you can do to increase the amount of clients that you're landing on freelance websites and Upwork. So how's it going everybody, and welcome to this video today. As mentioned, I'm going to be jumping into 2 things that you can implement today to increase the amount of clients that you are landing using freelance websites. And just to backtrack a little bit, if this is the first time you're ever seeing my face, it's the first time you've watched one of my videos, I take a bit of a different approach to most people when it comes to social media marketing. As you know, sort of the norm out there is to get clients using cold calls, cold emails, advertisements, DMs and things of that nature. Now, all of those things are fantastic, and I do also teach those. But where I have had the most success and where my content differs a lot to a lot of people's is that I teach and train how to build your agency using freelance websites. I have landed 99% of my clients using these freelance websites, and they have a ton of other benefits. And if you want a bit more of an in-depth training on that, I've got a link to a web class below you can check out. So if you are completely new to getting clients on freelance websites, you're new to me and my business model, make sure to check that out. But if this isn't the first time that you've watched me and you are familiar with my business model and getting clients on Upwork, what I'm about to teach you today is going to allow you to convert more sales. It's going to allow you to increase the amount of people that you get on a phone call, the amount of people that you message that end up as long-term clients. What is the first one? The first tip I have for you all right now is to get your authority game on point, okay? And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by your authority game? Basically what I mean is your personal brand. Whether or not you have no clients and no experience, you should have a personal brand. You should have a personal Instagram account. Not one on private, nothing like that. You need to have a public Instagram account, a public YouTube channel, and you need to start pushing content out onto your social media platforms speaking about what you are selling. This has helped me so unbelievably much when it comes to getting clients on these freelance websites, because you got to understand, freelance websites is a fantastic way to get clients because they are all warm leads. They're all people who are actively seeking the service that you're selling. All you have to do is come along and offer a solution to their problem, which is very, very easy. Now, the only time it gets difficult, you'd get every single client in the world if it was only you applying for the job. The truth is, it isn't. Now, although it is not saturated, there is still competition out there. There are still other freelancers, and the people that are going to win are the people who can become a figure of authority, the people that can brand position themselves in a position of power, right? And the best way that you are going to do that is by having a personal brand. And now look, you do not have to have 100,000 followers on your YouTube channel. You don't have to have 10,000 YouTube videos. You don't have to have any of that stuff, okay? But if you do have a social media presence and you are teaching and training people the service that you're selling, which would be in this case, social media marketing or social media management, people are automatically going to position you higher on the authority level because you are practicing what you're preaching. If you are selling social media marketing services, your own company, which is you as a freelancer, as an agency, are not using social media marketing, what good is that? So have a personal brand, become a figure of authority. And what I found very, very helpful for me is be open and honest. And in my profile and in my freelance profile, link my YouTube channel, link my Instagram account, and people can come and check me out. They can see what I'm about. It allows people to build a bit of rapport with me, familiarize themselves with me, and therefore more likely to get on a call with me and close the deal. So that is the first tip here. There's a ton of things you can do to increase your authority. There's 1,000,001 things, from the way that you word your profile, from the stuff and the content and the experience you put in your portfolio, even something as simple as the image and photo that you use as your headshot for your Upwork profile, your freelancer profile. Think about it. If it's just a picture of you with some mates in the background in Ibiza, do you think they're going to take you as serious as maybe if it's you on the phone looking like you're on a business call, or in a nice suit jacket or in a nice shirt, or maybe if it's you behind your laptop looking busy in a nice high quality image? Which do you think is going to position you as more of a figure of authority? The way you word your Upwork profile. If you word it and write it as such in a way that it looks like you're new and experienced and, you know, you'll do anything to work with someone and become needy. Figures of authority are not needy. They do not need to beg for your business, because a figure of authority would naturally have business gravitate towards them. Now, whether that is the case or not with you, you need to get more confident and position yourself in that figure of authority. And the biggest takeaway for you today is, you know, create that personal brand, start putting content out there to the world, and don't be afraid to let your clients see your content, okay? It will be a game changer, automatic rapport builder, and it makes you stand out like a sore thumb, which is super helpful on these freelance websites. The second tip I have for you to get more clients using Upwork and freelance websites is get them on the phone. And when you get them on a phone call, okay, the first thing that's gonna happen is, again, rapport building. But that isn't the tip. The tip isn't just to get them on the phone, right? You should be getting your clients on the phone. It's so much easier to close larger retainer deals when you get clients on the phone. But this is the biggest takeaway. Let them speak. Ask them questions and let them talk. I don't know about you, but maybe you're a specific fan of a sports team. If I were to ask you a question about that sports team, you could probably talk for hours. What if you had a child? What if I asked you about your child? People are obsessed with their children and they will talk for hours and hours. It's the same with a business. If you ask me about my company, I can talk to you for 3 days straight about my business. I love my business, what I'm passionate about, and 99% of business owners feel the same way. So when you're on the phone call with that business owner, ask them questions about the business, ask them questions about their vision, ask them questions about what they're after, what they're looking for, how you can help, and all those different things, and just let them talk. Book out an hour if you have to for the discovery call and let them talk. Because if they are talking 75 to 80% of the time, even closer to like 90% of the time throughout that sales call, what's gonna happen if you've done a good job in the first scenario, as building yourself as a figure of authority, as someone who values their time, by just letting them talk to you for an hour, you are, and like I said, if you've done a good enough job, position yourself as a figure of authority, they are gonna feel so obligated to work with you, because you normally charge for your time, right? You're a figure of authority, you normally charge for your time, but you've just let them talk to you for an hour. And they're gonna feel so obliged to work with you. They are so committed with you. They feel like they've built so much rapport with you, and they've basically sold themselves because they've spent an hour of their life teaching you about their company, explaining to you about their vision and their ethos and where they want to take things, all these kind of things. And they would have built up a level of rapport with you. They're going to feel like they owe you something for taking the time to speak with them. It's the law of reciprocity. If you do something for somebody, they feel obliged to do something in return. Okay, it's a cognitive bias that every human being has, unless you're like a sociopath or anything like that. You know, 99% of people have this. It's just ingrained into our system to feel obliged to give something back to somebody who's given you something. So if you've given them your time, you've listened to them, you've taken the time to not interrupt and listen to what they've got to say about their company, ask them questions, show genuine interest, and let them speak. By the time you get to the end of the call and price, they're gonna feel so obliged to work with you. They would have sold themselves and they will feel like they owe you something massively. Unless it's generally too expensive and they cannot move forward, you will be the person they choose. And I've had this myself. This is why in the last week I've landed several, $1,500 to $2,000 clients. I think I've added 3 or 4 clients this week, all over $1,000 per month. Okay, that's probably like $60,000 per year in monthly retainers I've added to my business this week from using that exact strategy. Okay, people view me as a figure of authority from my profile, from the way I speak, from what I'm saying, from the way I hold myself, from my profile picture, from my social media pages. They then click through, they show a bit of interest, they hop on a call with me, I let them talk. Law of reciprocity, they feel like they owe me something, and therefore I end up closing more deals. It is so unbelievably powerful, guys, and I cannot drive home the importance of it. Now look, if you can tell it's a bad fit from the get-go, if you've asked them questions and they generally cannot afford it, maybe they don't have any money, I'm not saying sit and take a 1-hour phone call and waste your time, okay? I'm not saying waste your time completely just taking a call for the sake of it when you know it's not a good fit. You have to make sure that it is going to be a good fit, and from your judgments, maybe the questions you've asked, that you can tell it's a good fit. If it's not a good fit, you do respect your time and you want to move on to the next one. So all you have to do is be like, look, I'm just going to stop you there. I know you're super busy. I don't want to waste your time. Unfortunately, I just don't think we're going to be a good fit. And end the call out, okay? If you do think it's a good fit, let them talk. And yes, can it be boring sometimes to sit for an hour on a phone call with somebody. Yes, it's not the most enjoyable thing in the world, but what I find is I have a genuine interest in people and helping people, right? For me, obviously, I do my business to make money, to make a living, but it's not my sole motivator. I do not have an agency to make money. I have an agency to help companies make more money. It's a big difference. So when I'm on a phone call with a potential client and I'm asking them about their business, it's not a sales tactic. It's not really structured per se of the call. It's because I generally care about the people I'm working with. And if I'm going to take a company from maybe 6 to 7 figures per year within a 12-month period, if I'm going to help a company out like that, and I know my service can do that, I want to make sure I want to work with the people and I want to build a relationship. I want to have rapport with my clients. It's more than just short-term monetary gain. It's a lot more about long-term vision, client happiness, and building those relationships, because relationships are everything in business, okay? So anyway guys, those are the 2 tips today for you to take away to get more clients using these freelance websites. Just to overview one final time here before we call it a day. Number 1, brand yourself as a figure of authority. Create a personal brand. Post content speaking about the service you sell. Okay, it doesn't have to be social media marketing. If it's SEO, post SEO content. If it's whatever, whatever it is, post content. Your profile, all things of that area, from your photo to your cover letter to the way you portray yourself. Think about what a successful 6-figure, 7-figure entrepreneur would do. They're not portraying themselves in a needy fashion. They come across professional, because professionals can charge higher retainers. So think about how you can brand not only your personal brand, but also your freelancer profiles as a figure of authority. Number 2, get your clients on a phone call. And if you know they're a good fit, ask some questions and let them do 75 to 90% of the talking throughout the whole sales call. It's going to build rapport, and the clients are going to feel obligated to owe you something, and that owing you something will most likely be your business for the coming months, coming years, and however long you want to work with that client. So that's it for this video today, guys. If you are new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like on the video if you found some value. If you want even more higher level training, I do have a link to a training program down below that I created that goes through my full A to Z of how to start and scale a successful social media marketing agency using these freelance websites without cold calling. It has the highest success rate of any social media marketing agency program on the market, and it is also 3 to 4 times cheaper than most people's programs as well. So take a look at that. The link will be in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you go and implement, and drop a comment down below of the most valuable takeaway that you got from this video, and I'll see you all next time.